Hi guys. Hi everyone. So my name is Ozioma Paul. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. So basically this is where I talk about God, my faith journey, and all of the things that I'm learning on the way. So today I'm going to be talking about reviving a dying devotion, like when your devotion with God is dying. And the truth of the matter is many times we make excuses for when we're not vibing with God as we ought to be. When I mean vibing with God, I mean a Bible study. Maybe we're not reading our Bibles, prayer time, all of these things. It's not going as planned. We make excuses, but the truth of the matter is we've given so much more for less. Remember when we were in school and we used to put our legs inside water, do overnight. Although I didn't do the whole water thingy, but we used to do so much more, like take coffee, do all of these things just to be alert, just so that we can pass our exams. And all these things are things that do not exactly have eternal value. How much more are we supposed to do for our own walk with God? Do you understand? So we ought to place even more premium on that and give ourselves wholly to it. So I'm just going to run through a few steps that I collated. Let me tell you guys the truth. So I tried to do this on my WhatsApp status last night, and I was just really rambling because I was trying to fit it into that 30 seconds window, and it ended up being 4 videos. I just thought, why don't you just put it together? So the first thing, like I said yesterday, is plan ahead. Like don't leave your devotion to chance. Build a structure around your devotion with God, because if you leave it to chance, anything will happen. Do you understand? So put a structure around it. Timing. So for instance, now this month is May. I have the Bible study plan, for the month of May, chapters and books. I have it written down in my journal. Now this is different from my youth version Bible plans on my phone. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to be intentional about it. Write it down. Put it down. Oh, okay, so for this month of May, I'm doing the book of Romans and I'm going to read 2 chapters every day. And what I do again is I try to track what I learn. So for instance, maybe I'm learning something in Romans chapter 1. I write it down with the date, with the timestamp. All of this thing is just to help keep me accountable. Is that correct? I don't know. Number 2, be intentional. Like, don't just leave it to chance. You know how it's not like, oh, you actually plan your classes, right? You actually plan, your study groups and all of your group study, right? So the same way, and even more, we should plan for spiritual things. Another one is don't always go with your feelings. See, if it was by feelings, when I was in school, I didn't always used to feel like reading, yet I read, right? And that's the same with many of us. How many of us really feel like going to work on Monday? I know that you're passionate about your job, but is it every Monday you really feel like going up to, go all through the stress? Some days you really do not feel like it. But the thing is, we're not feelings beings. We are not just physical beings. We are spiritual beings. So we do not move by my feelings. So I do not feel like praying, but I know that I ought to pray. So this thing is not about feelings. So for instance, like my pastor used as an example the other day in church, I need maths. I need to learn maths. I don't need to feel like maths, but I need to learn maths because it's needed for me to progress in school. It's the same way. You need to pray. It's not about I don't feel like praying. It's not about I don't feel like studying. You need this. It is important for your growth and for your progress in the faith. Do you understand? So we need to learn to shelf all this. I don't feel like. You're never gonna feel like it. Sometimes you do feel like it, but you are never going to always feel like praying and always feel like doing your devotion right. So you need to learn how to not be led by your feelings. Do you understand? Another thing that can be very helpful is accountability. So there's this online platform my church uses to pray. It's called Triumph 30. There was a time when work was really busy. Now I see that it's not an excuse, but like honestly, I'm usually on the road so we usually pray like 9 a.m. 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. So there's been times when that period I was very busy at work, and Lagos living now. So 6 a.m. I'm already on the road, 8 p.m. I'm already on the road. I could have planned it, but I didn't. So the next time I came online, like after a long while, it wasn't even a long, but like 2-3 weeks after that time. I mean, I used to come in and out and go. This is something that's supposed to be every day. After that time, I came back online and just prayed, and normally I think I just commented, and my pastor was like, what's your map, Amaka? Like, he literally called my name's like, where have you been? So for me, that was very humbling. The fact that somebody's actually looking out for you. So now, right, even if I do not feel like going to pray, or even if I do not feel like turning on my devotion, I always say, Pastor can notice that I'm not around. It's not like I'm doing it for him, but because there's an accountability system in place. Do you understand? So that works for me. Some of the things that work for me are, oh my goodness, excuse me. Sorry, you guys, the light went off for a bit. Okay, so like I was saying, that's my own, or that was the accountability system that works for me that period, and it still works for me now. Yours could be a friend. So I have some people on my YouVersion Bible friend thingy, the way it works, right? And so for everything that I do on YouVersion, on my Bible plan or on my whatever plan, it kind of notifies my friend. So if you know that your friend is usually on YouVersion, always studying her Bible on that platform, and you haven't seen a notification from her in a while, you can just say, hey, what's happening? Do you understand? So build accountability. It's the same way where you tell your friend, oh, I'm going to bed and I need to be up for 10 o'clock to read my books. Please make sure you wake me up if you don't hate me and you don't want me to fail. It's the same way. We just need to build all of these things to help us, because anything, like I said earlier, anything you don't plan, for excuse me, anything you don't put a structure in place, for, would just, that thing can just happen anyhow. If you don't put a structure to it, if you don't plan for it, it can just happen anyhow. So that's the importance of that. Another thing is stay inspired. See, do not lose your wonder. And the thing about things of God is that fire attracts fire. So there are times when I'll still use the devotion platform as an example, and I don't really feel like praying, and maybe I'm just tired, and I just leave the devotion on, and the person that is praying or leading the prayer is just praying. I'm supposed to be praying along, but I'm not. And maybe the person just says something that just really strikes something in me. Do you understand? And I just, especially Brother Peter. Hi, Brother Peter. If you are watching, if you're watching this, hi. So anyways, when Peter is praying, I'm always like, it's just like something is stirring in me. So you can have recordings like that to keep you inspired. I try to listen to at least one sermon in a day. Some days I do two, some days I do three. I have all these things in place. Technology has made life easier. All this time that you're spending on the road, just play a prayer or play a sermon. Just play all these things. Keep yourself inspired. In your room, have like things that you can just use to remind yourself of the scriptures, or to remind yourself to pray. I have alarms on my phone to pray. I have alarms on my phone that reminds me to wake up to pray. I have alarms that reminds me during the day to take breaks and pray. So all these things are very important. You just have to put it in place. Finally, yes, be with fire. So you know how that firewood now. I don't know if you guys know how firewood works. My mom used to cook a lot with firewood. She still does sometimes when we're doing like large cooking. You know how when you bring out a firewood from a burning set of firewood, like just a log, it dies off. If you want to resuscitate that guy, you put it back into the fire and then it catches fire. It's exactly the same thing with our with our Christian world. Who are the guys you are rolling with? Like, you need to surround yourself with fire. If you are going down, somebody would help you. It's the God never designed for the believer to be an island. God never designed for the believer to just be on his own, surviving on his own. God designed for the believer to thrive in the midst of other believers. God never designed for you to be alone. Do you understand? That's why the Bible would always say, never forsake in Hebrews 10, verse 25. I wish I could just read the TPT, that's the Passion Translation. Let me look for it. I found it. So it says, this is not the time to pull away and neglect meeting together, as some have formed the habit of doing, because we need each other. In fact, we should come together even more frequently. So this is Hebrews 10 verse 25, the Passion Translation. I kind of feel like it's shading some people, like people that don't go to church, when he said, as some have formed the habit of doing. But you get what I'm saying? He says, this is not the time to pull away, because we need each other. In fact, we should come together even more frequently. So it's very important. The Bible has already said, do not neglect the assembly of brethren. Do not ignore church meetings, prayer meetings, and these things do not necessarily have to be official. So I and my girlfriends in the past, I have a group of girlfriends where in the past we used to have like prayer days. So we used to fast on Wednesday, and we just fast and pray about each other. We'll just have a conference call around like 12. You can do all of those things, put things in place. The summary of this video is, do not leave your devotion with God to chance. It's very important. We've done so much more for way less. Like, we do so much to stay at our jobs, to get the good grades, and all these things, like I said, do not exactly have eternal value. Then they're not going with us to eternity. It's your work for God here and your walk with Him here that actually matters. So if you cannot invest that much time here, it makes me wonder, do you really see this God thing, this kingdom of God, as a treasure? If you see it as a treasure, then you will treat it as such. So I want to encourage us all, let the era of, oh, my devotion with God is suffering, let that be gone. And I want to say something, right? There's this trap that, in fact, I just came out from that season of my life where you go to church and it's so easy to worship Jesus, and it's so easy to read your Bible, and it's so easy to hold your neighbor's hand and pray. But once you are in the house and you're doing devotion, once you are alone, that's when you just feel like, yo, you can just do anything. That is such a trap. So if you feel like, if you are more fervent in when they are worshiping outside than you are in your closet, then there's a problem. At the end of the day, it makes it look like it's a performance. Question is, who are you performing it for? So you have to be able to put in that same work in your personal closet. Like, if you're not praying as you pray outside, then put in that work the same way you pray, that same fervency, that same heart of worship that you display outside, display it inside. Build a sincere devotion with God. Let your prayer altar be actual. Let it not just be something that is done because of, outside. So it's actually a trap, and you are just a great performer outside. When you are in your closet, you're nowhere to be found. Anyways, I've said so much, and I hope that this has blessed you. Please leave me some feedback. I always like some feedback, so please leave me some feedback, and also subscribe if you haven't, so that you can get like subsequent editions of this. So also share this with your friend, because love is sharing. Thank you again for watching. God bless you. I do not take this time that you have shared with me for granted. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.